Hello everybody, this is Carol from Friendly Quail. I'm here with a tutorial today, and if you're a subscriber, welcome back, and I'm glad you're here. If you're not a subscriber, I hope you'll join. I am going to be doing a giveaway when I get 100 subscribers. I'm at 86, and I have a treasure chest that I'm going to be giving away. And every time I make a video, I'm putting something in it. So this time I'm putting in these little tabs that I made with coffee dyed muslin. And this one has a safety pin and this a paper clip. And what you do is you put them on the side of a page like a tab. And then you can use this to hang a dangle on. Or just leave it the way it is. But I'm going to put those in. They are now in here. And I'm going to get on with the rest of my video. Now what I've got here are some journal cards, and I got kind of the idea of how they're collaged from Yvonne Preston, and I'll link her video below. And but then I did them on these cards, which I bought a whole bunch of these like at the dollar store and stuff when I first started making journals, and I use them, but not that much. So, you know, it's a nice card. So what I'm doing is I'm covering them and using them for journal cards. And that's what this is. I put coffee dyed paper on the back. I've got them stitched. These two I have stained after I made them. And when I do the backgrounds, like this one, it's all vertical. This one has some horizontal. This has vertical and horizontal. So when you collage it, it's whatever you want to do. But I'm going to show you how I put it on the cards, and then show you how to decorate some. And after I get them collaged and I have them on the coffee dyed paper, I put them under a heavy book in parchment paper for, you know, overnight while they dry so that they stay flat and I don't have to worry about it. So I'm going to take these away. Oops. And I'm going to start with just a couple cards and show you how I collage them. Now, what I'm using is paper that I have left over from when I made journal pages, and I'm making these cards for that journal. So I have some scrapbook paper. I have Edith Holden. This is from a directory from 1951 from the city that my parents, well, our whole family lived in at the time. More scrapbook paper. And then I'm also using some really old from 1943 music paper. I can't really use as a page because it's pretty fragile, but it makes good for collaging. So I'm going to be using some of this now and collaging for some cards, and then I'll show you how to decorate some that I collaged yesterday and let dry overnight. Okay, so when I start, I usually use a piece that's going to be, you know, like straight, but then the next, I don't need it this wide. Make it long enough. This side's going to be covered up, or I could use this on the end and have this. Maybe I'll do that. I'll kind of let that be the top part, so that I have a nice edge. And when I'm going to do that, I use and this is walnut stain that I'm using in this journal. I'll do the edge that's going to be on top so that it sticks up. So what should I use on here? This has these wonderful advertisements in it. Which I'll probably use on another one, but on this one I will just put this on the edge. So I'm going to, but this one will be totally covered up. Now when I put them on, I'm using my glue stick. And if anybody has a glue stick they like better than Yoo-Hoo, let me know in the comments below, because, you know, I think it works good, but I think some other ones might even work better, maybe more permanent. I'm always worried that this is going to come loose. So I'm going to line this up with the edge of the page. All right, and I'm going to use, I think, some music paper in the middle. I'll just kind of rip some of this. Oops. And I live in Florida, and it's been really, really hot, and today it's 75, and it's kind of nice. Okay, I get that on there. And then this one will go on top of that. And one thing about collaging, don't overthink it. People who overthink it, it takes them forever to do it. It won't matter, because you're going to have so much stuff going on in here that it'll be fine. Now, if I have it going over the edge, which a lot of times I do, I just cut it off, just like I'm going to do with this part right here. Now, it does have on the card like little rounded corners, but I'm not going to worry about that, because I will use my corner chopper at the end and take that off on the cards after they're dry. So let me do another one. I'm just using my thing as a glue thing, and then I just wipe it off. I've done the paper thing, and then everything sticks on it. Let's see, what do I want to do? Maybe I'll use this piece that I ripped off as my edge. Now this is a good way to use up some of your scraps. This happens to be scraps of things I used in the journal that I'm making this for. But it doesn't have to, it can be any scraps. You can make any kind of scraps into a collage, of course. Let's see, here are, I think I will use some Edith Holden. And I'll just rip some of this off so that I'm not gluing the whole thing. I have been having so much trouble. I made this video, I think, at least 3 times. And now I have a new SD card, which ended up being corrupt in my phone. I tried a different camera. I've been doing all kinds of things, and it hasn't really been working out too well. So, I've been very, very frustrated with it. Let's see. I'll put some of this on to rip a new page. This is also rather fragile paper, but not as bad as some of the paper that I've got. It was kind of fun because I bought this and I went and looked at the house that we lived in when I was born, that I didn't know where it was, and found out, and my grandparents had lived there, and my parents lived above it during World War II, and then up until the time that my grandmother died, and then they sold it and bought a different house, and that's the only house I remember before we moved to a different city. Totally, but I do remember that, the second house. But it was kind of fun to see where my grandparents lived, because I knew that my grandfather had raised flowers on a lot next to the house, and the lot is still there. It's really kind of too small to put a house on. They're trying to sell it right now, but he raised flowers, and he would sell them. A lot of people came and bought them and put them in the cemetery. So he had kind of a business. He himself was the supervisor of all the plows in that city. Okay. So I've got 2. And I'll do one more. Kind of like this, these letters here. No. So I'm going to use that. So he had a really good job during the Depression, because you still had to plow the streets and that type of thing. So my mother was kind of a spoiled little rich girl compared to my dad, who really had kind of a rough childhood with no money. So it's always fun to find out things about your parents. And let's see, what do I want to put on here? Probably some music paper. I'll just rip this side off with my ruler. A little more of this off. Oh, I'm going to do the edge. Yeah, my parents are both gone. And so I can't ask them questions anymore about people from the past, and kind of miss that. Mom would always know everything. I could do this just with 2 because it's wide enough. It's already over the edge. But I think I'm going to put a little bit of these holding on the edge. So I'm gonna, whoops, I'm gonna rip that off so I know where the edge is. All right. So it'll be going off the edge then. Oops. We actually have our doors and windows open this morning. Usually all we have is the air conditioner. I can hear a plane going over. A really loud plane. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, when I get to this point, that's when I put on the coffee dyed backing. Because it is going to sit underneath and glue on. So I have some coffee dyed paper that scraps that I'm using. And for this, I'm using art glitter glue. I go near the edge. Put that on the coffee dyed paper. So I hope my phone problems are over. This is really loose. I'm going to put some art glitter glue on there. But yesterday when I was on the phone twice, I was making all my phone calls to doctor appointments and stuff like that. Twice my sound went out and people couldn't hear me. My phone's a year old, of course. It's just off of warranty. So I am really concerned about that. Hopefully I won't have to make this a 4th time because I might just give up. Actually, a 5th time. This is the 4th time. Now that, like I said, will go under a heavy book. I usually put some parchment paper, wax paper or something. In between it and the book, so that I kind of put it in the parchment paper and put the book on top so that it doesn't stick to the book. There. So that'll go underneath the book till it's dry, and I will put those aside for later. And then when it's dry, I cut them out. So I have the coffee dyed paper, and we are ready to decorate it. I usually do the edges first. You can do it last if you want. But that way I know I've done it. I'll probably have to do the corners after I chomp them off. Should have did that first. Now I'm using the little corner chomper because that's the same as what it was, and it just pretty much takes off the excess paper. Whoop. All right. corner chop that. My We Are Memory Keepers corner chopper. Knocking everything over here. And when I'm going to decorate it, I'm going to pull out some, that one didn't chop very good. Oops. Now I used the big one by mistake. Now I'm going to have to use the big one on all the corners. No biggie. But anyway, what I do is I'll pull out a number of things that I think might work. And because I have so much ephemera, boxes, little boxes and little boxes like this. Things that I cut out from kits that I bought and stuff like that. And I have Tim Holtz stuff and, you know, different things. So if I try to think of what to use all of it, I would be here forever. So I pulled out some things that I think might work. And I always do first, like one of the vellum stickers. Let's see here. What I think might work. I'll use that one on there because of that eye. I don't want to cover it up. Okay, now with the vellum stickers, before I take them off, a lot of times I usually just do a little bit of the distressing on the edges because I think it helps them blend in a little bit better because it is white on the edge. Okay. So I kind of do it before I take them off because it's a lot easier. These sometimes are really, really hard to get off, and I use, to grab it, my X-Acto knife to get it started. This one looks like it's lifted up a little bit right here. And very carefully take them off. These can wrinkle when you're putting them on, so I'm trying to be very careful so I don't wrinkle them. Okay, so that's my kind of focal point there. Let's see here. Get pretty frustrating getting these off. Okay, I got it started. I had it started. There we go. These also do rip if you're not careful. It's a vellum stickers. I did get these off of Amazon. And one more. This is the only thing that they all get one of the vellum stickers. But then for ephemera to decorate, I just kind of pull from my little stash here. I don't have any fingernails right now. They were breaking a lot and I cut them really short. So fingernails don't work for me. Okay. This is kind of fun. This is an advertisement for where my dad worked when I was born. Well, when he was back from the war already. So, got those. Now I've got butterflies and specimen tickets and stamps, words, and then I just have to play and say, okay, what do I want to put on here? This is something that I printed myself on eco-dyed paper. So I do my own words, so you know I can put something like that on, but I'm not going to glue it until I decide what I actually want on it. Put a number. Let's see. Maybe over here we'll put a number. I don't know if I like the orange on there. Put that one on. So now I'm good to, you know, you could put a butterfly if you want. If I'm going to use this big one, I won't put a butterfly. I think that might work. I'm going to distress the edges. This one's kind of light. I might put a little stuff everywhere on it. A lot of times when I use stickers, I do use glue under it, and I'm just noticing this edge is kind of up. I'll have to watch that later. I might have to use a little glue under there. Let's see here. Oh, I already did that one. And I am going to use my art glitter glue to put this part on. Oops. Get any excess glue off. Oops. Gotta remember to stay on camera. that one's done, except for sewing. They really go fast. Starting with that base like that, that's already done, but you know, otherwise I make my own tags and things too. But kind of do it in, I don't know if it's loud enough for you to hear in the background, but there's a blue heron that likes to be in my backyard, and he's out there complaining about something. We have a beautiful area to live. I had ripped this out of the Edith Holden. That would be good on one of these things too. I'll put it on one of the other ones. Okay. I get a lot of these little tags and things, either from Tracy Fox, Artology, and I think I've gotten some things from Shabbydabbydoodah. Put this one over here. Okay, so that's it. Now all we have left to do is stitch around the edges when they're dry, and I'll have some more journal cards. So upcoming, I had unraveled that India rug, so I'm going to be using some of the fabric to make flowers, and I'm having fun with that, so I'll show you how I do that. And I also have some other ideas. I'm going to use some of that fabric on the covers for the journals that I'm making. It's getting a little, I was making fall journals, and you know, it's already way into fall, but with all the problems I had, I'm still working on them. I have a circus journal that I've been working on that I'm going to do more with that. And I will also be doing a boho journal coming up. So those are some things that I'll be getting to as the time goes on. And I would like you to join, be a subscriber if you aren't. Remember, I've got the treasure chest coming up. When I get 100 subscribers, I will do a video showing all the things in the box, and then that's the one you'll have to comment on. And you have to be a subscriber, and I have to be able to see that you're a subscriber. So we'll talk about that later. All right, so that's it for today. Thanks for coming and crafting with me. This is Carol from Friendly Quill saying bye.